Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been noticeably quiet lately. No explosive interviews, no shocking accusations, no dramatic royal clashes splashed across headlines. In fact, some royal experts say the Sussexes have been on their best behavior in years. And yet, somehow, they're still being called troublemakers. Which raises a bigger question. If Harry and Meghan aren't creating scandals anymore, why does the drama around them never seem to disappear? And more importantly, what if that drama is actually the reason the royal family remains relevant in the first place? For a long time, Harry and Meghan were seen as the rebels of the monarchy. Every move they made was interpreted as a challenge to royal tradition. Interviews were scrutinized, statements were dissected, even silence was treated as a strategy. But recently, something shifted. Observers noticed fewer public appearances, fewer pointed comments, less engagement with royal controversies altogether. To some, this looked like maturity. To others, damage control. Royal commentators began suggesting that the Sussexes were intentionally stepping back, carefully managing their public image to avoid reigniting old conflicts with the royal family. So naturally, you'd expect the criticism to fade. But it didn't. Instead, the narrative stayed exactly the same. Harry and Meghan were still accused of being disruptive, still framed as a threat to the monarchy, still blamed for tensions they weren't publicly contributing to. Which makes you wonder, are people reacting to what Harry and Meghan are doing now, or to the idea of Harry and Meghan that's been built over the years? Some critics continue to claim the couple causes huge problems for the royal family. Yet, when pressed for specifics, those accusations often rely on vague language rather than concrete examples. No recent scandals, no verified incidents, just familiar phrases repeated again and again. And repetition has power. When a story is told often enough, it starts to feel true even when the facts no longer support it. This is where expert voices add an interesting layer. According to royal scholar and professor Pauline McLaren, Harry and Meghan appear to be making a deliberate effort to stay out of trouble. She describes them as being on their best behavior, especially when it comes to their royal relatives. There's no obvious provocation, no public attacks, no attempts to reopen old wounds. Yet, paradoxically, the attention around them hasn't diminished. It's intensified. Every small movement is still analyzed. Every absence becomes a story. Every rumor sparks another wave of speculation, which leads to an uncomfortable truth about the monarchy itself. The royal family has always relied on public fascination to survive. Ceremony alone isn't enough. Tradition alone doesn't hold attention forever. What keeps people watching is emotion, conflict, relationships, unspoken tension. And whether intentionally or not, Harry and Meghan sit right at the center of that emotional narrative. Some argue that the monarchy already struggles to stay relevant in a modern world. Younger audiences are less interested in formality and more drawn to authenticity. They want stories they can relate to, family disagreements, personal struggles, emotional distance. And that's exactly what the Sussex story provides. It's not just about titles or protocols. It's about a son and his father, brothers who no longer seem close, a couple trying to define themselves outside an ancient institution. These are human stories, and humans are drawn to them. In that sense, Harry and Meghan don't weaken the monarchy. They humanize it. They make it feel accessible, flawed, real. Without them, the royal narrative risks becoming polished but distant, ceremonial but emotionally empty. And history shows that public interest fades when emotion disappears. That's why speculation never stops. People wonder about Harry's relationship with King Charles. They analyze his distance from Prince William. They debate Meghan's role in everything from royal exits to media perception. Each unanswered question fuels another article, another discussion, another video. And that brings us to the psychology behind it all. Experts suggest the fascination with the royal family, and especially with Harry and Meghan, is rooted in gossip culture. Not gossip as something trivial, but as a social bonding tool. People connect by speculating together, by debating motives, by sharing theories. It creates a sense of participation. You're not just watching history, you're interpreting it. And Harry and Meghan provide endless material for that interpretation, even when they stay silent. In fact, silence often fuels curiosity more than controversy ever could. When nothing is said, people fill in the gaps themselves. And that might explain why being on their best behavior hasn't reduced attention at all. It's only changed its shape. Instead of reacting to scandals, audiences now speculate about intentions. Instead of analyzing interviews, they analyze absence. Instead of debating words, they debate meaning. So the drama never truly ends. It just evolves. Which brings us back to the core contradiction. Harry and Meghan are criticized for creating drama, yet when they avoid it, the fascination only grows. So what does that say about the system they're part of? Perhaps the monarchy doesn't just survive despite controversy, it survives because of it. And perhaps Harry and Meghan, willingly or not, have become essential to that cycle. So here's the question for you. Do Harry and Meghan actually harm the royal family, or do they keep it emotionally relevant in a world that's quickly moving on? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoy royal stories explained beyond surface-level headlines, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's get back to it. Because as long as people keep watching, speculating, and debating, Harry and Meghan will remain impossible to ignore. Quiet or controversial, present or absent, they are still woven into the royal story. And maybe the real reason the drama never fades is because the public doesn't want it to.